And I'm Patrick Simon, topping our news. They had to see it to believe it. That's what many West Virginia lawmakers are saying about what led them to vote for Supreme Court impeachment. The fight against obesity is coming to the Mountain State. It's happening this fall. An announcement today that Charleston will host the 12th annual Obesity Summit. 2 months after taking over the RISE West Virginia program, General James Hoyer says he is pleased with the progress. 13 News reporter Jesse Schaefer spoke with investigators today, learning more details and why they say proper training prevented even more loss of life. We now know the date of sentencing for the man who's been convicted of the murder of 10-month-old Emily Barringer. The number of children and teenagers hospitalized over the last 15 years due to opioid poisoning has nearly doubled. And most adults getting treatment for opioid drugs started using illicit drugs before the age of 18. It's a chance for them to see their memorials that were built in their honor. For many of them, it's one last mission. It's also a moment for them to reflect, to share their stories, and to heal. This $500 million ship was going to be built, but it didn't have a name. Yet. Until his grandson got involved about 3 years ago, made some calls to Congress, and then last January, the announcement came from the U.S. Secretary of the Navy. The USNS Herschel Woody Williams would finally be official.
I don't know that I can ever fully express.
We just found out the official date of the renaming of the VA hospital in Huntington for West Virginia World War II Medal of Honor recipient Woody Williams. Just got this from his grandson, so save the date. Sunday, September 9th is when the official dedication and name change will take place, honoring this deserving hero, and we will be there. The full name of the hospital, Herschel Woody Williams VA Medical Center. Congratulations again, Woody.
Well done.
So maybe dogs are just good at being motivated by treats and belly rubs. Well, whatever the case, they are still man's best friend. Now, I got to say, my dogs, when they just heard that, they just texted me.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're that smart.
What were their thoughts?
And they say, don't believe that study. The cats are just trying to stir up trouble. They were behind that study.
And Mark, as you know, all eyes across the nation are looking at the U.S. Senate race featuring Republican Patrick Morrisey, who gets the endorsement from the president tonight, and Democratic incumbent Joe Manchin. So Team Morrisey really needs a big boost from Team Trump tonight.
Well, Jennifer, this is obviously not the outcome that Richard Ojeda wanted in losing tonight to Carol Miller, the Republican in the race, you the Democrat in the race. What's your message to Carol Miller and as we go forward here?
Well, you know, I want her to do her job.
A lot of skiers getting ready for this. And don't forget, Mountain State skiing will also be available in Canaan Valley, Timberline, and Winter Place in the coming weeks.
We can't wait.
Yeah, there you see the lineup out there. Folks are about to kick off their annual 2018 Winter Wonderland of Lights Parade. Visitors coming from all across the country to see all of those lights.
Just in time for the holiday weekend, maybe.
No doubt.
And some football, too. And there's no love lost with some teams this weekend.
No.
Nearing the holiday season, kids are starting to fill out their Christmas list with all the games and toys that they can ask for. But for some kids, all they want is a good pair of shoes, and that is where Rack Room Shoes is stepping in. Each year, the store collects donations to buy Chamberlain Elementary students a new pair of shoes. And today, teachers and administrators got to walk through the store and pick out a few pair for their kids. In total, Rack Room donated almost $4,900 worth of new shoes. So what a wonderful thing. All those kids are going to get all those shoes in time for Christmas. A perfect night to have a parade, the Christmas Parade of Lights here. We were just talking to Bill Bissett, who's the president of the Huntington Regional Chamber of Commerce. Bill says over 100 entries will be here tonight. We're talking bands, folks. We're talking about tons of lights. A lot of organizations getting involved. Jennifer, as you know, Huntington is really, really a great city to host such a great parade. It's going to be a fun time tonight. And by the way, if you need some hot cocoa, some hot chocolate, right over my shoulder right there, Huntington's Kitchen, free hot chocolate until 6 o'clock tonight. That's why the March of Dimes is so important to give a fighting chance for every baby. In fact, one West Virginia family had to lean on this important organization, not just for the birth of their child, but for their entire family's survival as well.
You can catch it right here on CBS. Romo's my man.
Yeah, Romo finally gets to a Super Bowl, huh?
I love it. Oh, wow.
No, he
that's
didn't.
okay. My wife's a Cowboys fan. She'll understand the humor, or I might be out in the doghouse tonight. On a night like tonight, I'm in serious trouble.
It's going to be tough on him, by the way.
Think for a moment about the top historic events that happened over the last 100 years. Now imagine living through each one of them. Tonight, we introduce you to a one-of-a-kind hero who's celebrating a major milestone, 100 years in the making.
The old general says, "You probably will."
As we observe Veterans Day, there is new hope for treatment to help veterans who are battling with PTSD. Tonight, we're working for you with real solutions, and veterans are finally beginning to heal.
Since your tax dollars help pay for them, ever wonder how many vehicles the state has?
I have no idea.
You're not alone.
No clue.
Even the people in charge of auditing state agencies struggle with this one.
We don't know. I mean, there's anywhere from 8,000 to 12,000. So it's not a way to run a business, not a way to run a government.
This new audit of fleet management shows 7,529 state vehicles, DMV accounting for 10,504. And look at this, Brim insuring 12,000 vehicles without having a clue of what's being covered.
Brim provides blanket insurance coverage for all state agencies.
If Emily Lilly could tell her younger self, that little girl right there, second from the right, how her life would turn out, she would have to start with
I wanted to do something different.
quite different. She had degrees from college. She had spent 10 years at a great-paying retail job. She had 2 younger kids at home. Yet Emily just up and quit
Things change as you get older.
to serve her country.
Children change you. So when my children were 2 and 3, I decided I wanted to do something that would make them proud.
Up until a few years ago, military service was the farthest thing from her mind. But something clicked.
I thought, well, I want to be one of those people who goes out when there's a disaster and help the people in my community.
Her brave grandfather, Army First Lieutenant Douglas Thrift, served in World War II. So why not follow in his footsteps or boots?
My grandfather was an armor officer. He commissioned as a cavalry officer from VMI in 1936 because he loved riding horses. So getting to be with a Cav squadron to me was like, okay, well, that's as close as I'm ever going to be to what he did, but that's really cool.
But then, at the time that she joined, she had heard that more combat jobs became available.
So then when they opened up armor to women, I immediately called the squadron commander and I said, I want to switch. I want to rebranch to armor. What do I have to do? And he said, I knew you were going to ask, so I'm already looking at it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she didn't stop there. Here's the part of that talk with her younger self, where she would say she would make history. At 38 years old, First Lieutenant Emily Lilly became the first female National Guard soldier to graduate from the elite Army Ranger School.
They say at Ranger School you come closer to God because you have nothing else but you're just you and God, and that's it. And so I said, please don't give me anything more than I can handle.
That same day, wouldn't you know it, she was given an extra heavy backpack to climb the highest mountain.
And I said, well, either he's got a really good sense of humor or I'm capable of a whole lot more than I thought.
Well, she survived and graduated, proudly displaying her new Ranger tab.
How proud are you of that?
Oh, unbelievably proud.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's forging a path, not only for women, but for all of her soldiers to follow.
I came back to my unit and a lot of the younger guys were like, yeah, I want to do this. And I was like, absolutely. Just think, if it ever gets really bad and it sucks really bad, just think, a 38-year-old woman just did this. You should be able to do it. You won't die. You won't actually die in the school.
Oh, and one last note to her younger self, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I think the bigger you dream, the better the reward when you do actually accomplish it. And there's no reason to sell yourself short because you'll be able to do so much more than you ever thought you were capable of.